What's going on, everybody? Today we're here with
Dana.
Dana. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. It's really a pleasure to have you here in this podcast. I saw some of your content and it's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think a lot of it. I don't know if I saw everything, but
Yeah.
I scrolled and like very powerful messages. So, and amazing topics. Like I was like, almost every post you had,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I want to talk about that, and talk about that, and that, and that, and that.
Oh.
Until I literally ran out of paper. So I was like, okay,
Wow.
that's good.
That's a huge compliment. Thank you so much.
Oh.
That means a lot. Definitely.
Seriously, especially because like I was telling you, like
Yeah.
with social media nowadays, there can be some content that is just like, you know, fun to watch, but there's also like valuable content.
Yeah.
And what you have is like all valuable and fun too. But
Yeah, I think it's important. You know, I get inspired as well, you know, watching other people's content about motivation and positivity and well-being. That inspires me as well. You know, so I kind of want to take it and spread it, you know, to other people so that they can, because you never know who's it gonna help and who's gonna watch it, and so yeah.
wow, well, you did spread it because I saw it.
Found you.
Exactly. I came across it, and now you're here.
Perfect.
Hopefully, we're gonna reach billions of people as well, everyone on the planet. So to get started, tell us a little bit about like your background. I know we briefly talked about it, that you were in California before, but you know, feel free to go as far back as you want. Just a little bit about your life.
Absolutely. So I moved to Florida about 3 years ago. I was in California before. I mainly moved here for a change. You know, at a time I was in a relationship. We were, you know, going through it, and we decided we wanted to change. And unfortunately, here we broke up. But you know, that's. I like to look at everything is an experience, right? So you have to learn, and you never know where that experience is going to take you and where it's going to lead you. And you know, looking back now, I'm glad I'm here because I do like it here. So you know, maybe it happened in a way of, you know, it wasn't planned really.
Right.
But yeah, I ended up liking it here. So yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And did you grow up in California as well, or did you live somewhere before California?
No. I'm actually, I was born in Israel, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes.
I've been thinking about Israel, of course,
yes,
all day, every day.
Thank you. Appreciate
Wow.
it. So that's my mom's side of the family. They're from there. And then on my dad's side, I'm Argentinian Italian. So kind of two different places in the world, right?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, it's interesting. I was doing a podcast as well with a real estate agent the other day who is from Argentina. She's Jewish and also has some background, I think, from Israel. So it's cool.
Oh, so cool. Nice.
Ah, so
A small world, right?
Oh,
especially in a place like Miami. I feel like this is a chance you get to meet so many people from so many different
Right.
countries and backgrounds, and that's the beauty of it.
I love it.
That's what makes it unique and, you know, a special place, I think.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because it's like, where are you really? You know,
Yeah.
because sure, geographically speaking, you are in
Yeah.
the United States of America. It's great, but the people around you are from all over the world, speaking different kinds of languages.
Exactly.
Really,
yeah.
You know, so yeah, I love it.
It's
Miami's
never boring
fascinating.
here.
No, I agree, and it's so inspiring. You know, like
Yeah.
just you know, I won't go into too much detail, but like the architecture, the developments,
Absolutely.
again, the people,
Absolutely.
the environment, like literally like the ocean. I don't know. I just love it here.
I think Florida, to me, it's a very therapeutic place.
Oh, exactly.
I know that maybe sometimes living in Miami, it's hard to see that, or it's hard to, because, you know, the first impression that people have about Miami is that it's a party city, right?
Right.
It's all about partying. It's all about, you know, constantly be doing something. But
Right.
I like to look at Florida as a therapeutic place. You know, the nature here is incredible. Obviously, the beach, it's that's, you know, what it's been doing to me. So
Right. No, that's the perfect word. Therapeutic.
therapeutic, yeah.
Wow, powerful. And yeah, because we were saying like, you know, I don't really drive that much, and I think the traffic is one of the things that sometimes people don't love about Miami.
Yes.
So if you don't drive, then it's even better.
Exactly, that's the best, right?
If
If
you
you can
drive
just
a lot.
walk around, that's the best.
Yeah. But if you do drive, it's also not that bad. Like I think just
Yeah.
rush hour is just difficult.
Yeah.
But other
Hey,
than
coming
that,
from California, like I'm kind of
wow.
used to that, you know,
Really?
in a way, because we have that problem over
hear,
there,
yeah.
right? It's kind of getting like it here, you know. I think so. With all the people moving in here, right?
Exactly,
It
and
brings
everyone's
the
buying-
traffic. So that's
everyone's buying cars. Like if you look at all the buildings again, like each unit, you can pretty much know that you're gonna have 1 or 2 cars. And public transportation is available, but it's not that great. Like I've used it a couple of times, and it can be a little bit scary.
Yes.
It's ideal for the environment, right? It would be great if we all used it. But no, Miami's amazing, and it's also like the ocean you were saying is therapeutic. It's kind of like my office, which I always tell people. I was at a networking event the other day, and I was wearing shorts as well. And I told them, well, listen, I was doing a photo shoot before because that's what I do. That's why I'm wearing shorts. Just want you to know that. Because sometimes I do wear pants, believe it or not. But yeah, so because of the photo shoots, the beach has also become like my office.
Nice.
Like we'll get back to you, but like just to finish that thought, it's just the fact that the ocean is always like unpredictable. So maybe we'll get a chance to go later today and take a few shots because like you never know what the wind's gonna look like, the ocean, the color of the water.
Yeah.
Anyways, but let's go back to you.
Yeah.
So that's awesome about your background, and I was looking at some of your content again, and one of the most recent ones you were talking about like your mind, your mindset, and like leading with your mind, and I thought that was those 2 words together were like, wow. Can you like tell me a little bit more about that, or tell us a little bit more about like...
Absolutely. Lead with your mind, because your mind is the most powerful thing, right? So it's a powerful tool. So you have to know how to use it, right? That's when it goes as well with choosing what to focus on, right? If we are going to focus on negative, or if we start complaining, or if we start to look for what doesn't work, then you're going to be attracting things like that. So we don't want that. That's why you have to control what you consume your mind, what you expose yourself to, because it all takes form. Right? We can think that, okay, no, it doesn't matter. Like, it's okay. I learned in my experience that it matters, so you have to really control it and use it to attract what you want. It's a powerful tool again. So
1,000%.
Lead with your mind, but in a positive way. Yeah.
Well, 1,000%. I have a feeling that you're familiar with my friend Tony Robbins.
Absolutely. I mean,
I knew it. Just the way you talk, I'm like,
how can you not love Tony Robbins, right?
I love him. And what you focus on expands.
Exactly.
It's something I heard the other day.
Yeah.
Like he was doing that thing with Dean. Did you see it? That on YouTube, like online or whatever?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, he's done a couple of years of that one. Yeah. And it's always fascinating to watch him. But he says exactly what you were talking about, which I agree with 1,000%. Also, I heard a line the other day, which was, "You don't live the life that you live, but the life you focus on." Wow.
I'm a big believer in that. Yeah, I mean, these things have worked for me. From my experience, again, whatever we focus on, that's what we're going to attract. So
I agree.
Have to be careful with that,
Yeah, because there's always, I'm sure for all people, there's always some stuff going on that are not ideal. It may not be what we planned. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure there's other things that are good that, at least myself, I tend to forget about or ignore or forget. Yeah. And then unless like write them down, like I'll be like, oh, I mean, I do have water in my hand.
Exactly.
Like tiny things.
Look at the glass, half full, right? Exactly. That's what it all kind of, talks about the same thing, right? Of course, we go through, like, not everything is perfect, right? We can't, of course, it's life. There's always going to be, something that's unexpected. But that's another topic, right? That's learning to adapt to change and challenge yourself. It's okay, it's okay to have a bad day. It happens. It's okay to connect with your emotion and acknowledge that right now you're feeling like a certain way. But it's also our responsibility, right, to direct our mind. And focus it to where we want to head, right? To where we want to be.
Well, I agree. That's amazing. I'm sure we're gonna touch back on that because it's everything, right? Like mind is everything. Yeah. Now, there's something else that I think is fascinating, which is self-doubt. I know in my life it has been an obstacle many times and has held me back from moving forward and taking action. What is, how has that been? I'm sure it's been like, I mean, how has that been for you? What's your experience with self-doubt?
Absolutely. That used to be a big problem. I would always even today, a little bit, you know, I always have those like, you know, moments of like, oh, I'm not sure about this, I'm not sure about this, or you know what, a lot of people can change. I mean, a lot of, so for example, if we're distracted, people distracting you, I think it all goes to, we need to work on ourselves. We have to get back to the source, which is us, to do the inner work. Right. And we have to build that confidence. That is what's going to help you with self-doubt. Right? Because if you know that, for example, if I'm doubting if I can do something or not, if I know deep inside I'm capable of doing it, and if I'm willing to put in the work, and if I'm willing to do the research and expand my knowledge and do whatever it takes to get that thing, right? Then there shouldn't be self-doubt. And if it comes, it's okay, you know? But it's, again, learning to control that voice in your head, learning to control the fears that come up, and learn to quiet them, because, you know, it's a lot of self-talk, a lot of inner talk that you have to do. Yeah.
Wow, it's so true though, the whole discipline thing. Like if you practice or just work on whatever it is that you're doing, that'll give you the confidence that you need.
Of course,
that's so true. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Wow, love it. So this is similar, like self-doubt. And sometimes we overanalyze things. Yes. I know that for myself, there's something I heard actually doing a podcast with I would like to call him a friend now. He's an awesome guy, Brian. Hope you're doing well. But he mentioned something that I loved, which was imperfect action. You know, because sometimes a lot of plans and projects never make it past the preparation phase, right?
Of course.
And also, right? And people sometimes don't do things because they don't feel like they're ready enough.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Absolutely. You know what? I think that we can never be ready enough, you know, because you're always going to be like, if you have that mindset of, I'm just going to wait till I'm ready, you're always going to find yourself in that loop, right? Of, okay, maybe in a week I'll be ready, or maybe in a month I'll be ready, you know? There's never a perfect moment. I think it's about doing, you know? Obviously you have to do the work, right? I like to talk a lot about be prepared, right? So you always have to be prepared, because you never know when the opportunity is going to show up. Right. That's a thing. That's something that we all need to do, right? To prepare ourselves. But at the same time, you also need to know to take action, because that's the only way to actually like move things, right? That's the only way to see progress. But we cannot overthink, right? And because then you're going to find yourself going back and forth of when is the right moment, or when is the right, you know, time to do it. And it doesn't work like that, right? Yeah. Because, you know, I'm a big believer in the universe, right? Power of the universe. The universe wants to see us taking action, right? So not just sitting, talking, thinking about ideas, but actually taking action. That's it.
Wow.
You know? Yeah.
I love that. And you reminded me of something that, once again, my friend Tony Robbins, I'm sure you're watching. He's definitely watching this and listening to this. But he mentioned something about making decisions, and like every time you make a big decision or a decision about doing something, never leave the decision without taking an action about it. So like you decide, I'm going to get in shape. Well, don't just decide, but, you know, sign up for the gym membership right away. Yeah. Right? You
know, and also like don't overwhelm yourself. You don't need to know everything, anything, every step of the way. It doesn't work like this. Do it step by step. That's the best way to approach it, right? So for example, if we're trying to lose weight or get in better shape, right? First thing we want to do is sign up to a gym. Or if you are in a gym, maybe create a better plan of when exactly you're going to go this week, what days you're going to show up to the gym, and then you have to maybe force yourself a little. You have to show up. You have to show up. Yes, this is on you.
Totally. I agree. The whole forcing yourself, 1,000%. With especially the things that usually are in our best interest. We tend to like avoid them. Exactly. You have to force yourself. You have to force yourself to eat healthy. You have to force yourself to do some sort of exercise.
You
know, so
absolutely.
Totally. You have to push, because sometimes it's in our nature to like just like sit back and stay still like a rock.
Because that's the comfort zone.
Exactly.
Right? If we just like sit on a couch and watch movies all day and eat, right? That's the comfort zone. But we can't grow like this. Nothing's going to change, right? If we keep on doing the same thing over and over again, nothing's going to change.
Right.
So.
What's called? I heard something was like, nothing change if nothing changes or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. And I think actually, I think Grant Cardone was saying that to change, you have to keep changing and changing. And so, because
Wow.
if you look at change is the only constant thing in life.
Right.
Right? There's always change, whether we like it or not. Like our age changes, our appearance changes, right? Or maybe what we like, what we don't like.
Yeah.
So change is the only constant thing. So our job is to adapt to the change. Wow. That's how we're gonna grow and get to experience our ideal self. Yeah.
Wow, that's so true. Yeah, it reminded me of something I heard that was like. Something like, so it was like survival of the fittest kind of thing, evolution, but it's also like the person or the animal or the living thing that has the ability to
adapt.
deal with change and adapt to change.
Yes.
Literally, right? Because well, love it. Okay, now this one's really interesting. That I think connects to like sometimes holding back and self-sabotage, which I was talking to someone about it the other day, and it's something that people usually, I think, this is my opinion, right? I may be wrong. I probably am wrong, but that I think it seems like a good thing because people will like it, but it's actually, I think, is a character defect. And I'm talking about people pleasing.
Ooh, yes.
What are your thoughts about that?
Again, this is something that I used to. Again, I am still growing, still learning, so maybe I do it sometimes, but I like to control it right away. People pleasing, the thing about that is that you can do all you want. Some people, they're not going to be pleased no matter what it is you do. They're not going to be satisfied no matter what is it you're doing and what you're trying to do. So, and of course, people are always going to have opinions. Whether you do something good, you do something, people are always going to have something to say. So you have to, again, it's things that they're hard to do right away. It takes really working on it and really putting the time to changing that situation. But you have to remember that it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If you're happy with yourself, if you are in a good relationship with yourself, if you know what leads you in life, like where you're headed, then this is all that matters, because people are always going to have something to say, so.
Really. That's so true, which brings me to another point.
But it's hard. It's hard.
Oh, totally.
Totally.
Because like it happened to me the other day, which is something that I'm trying to work on, but I'm not good at it yet. Which is I tend to like overshare and share about things that I didn't really have to. For example, the other day I was telling someone or a group of friends, I was like, I went swimming today. I was like really excited because I went swimming for like 3 days in a row. I was like so happy. I'm like, And of course this guy was like, well, you don't want to do it that much, it's important for the body to take breaks. I'm like, dude, I know.
Yes.
But then that thought kind of like stayed in my mind. And then the interesting thing is that the next day I had like the idea, the impulse to go again. But then my mind already had that seed that he planted, thinking like, well, maybe I need a day off.
Right, because that's what happens when we let other people's opinions in. We give them the access, then it starts messing, with our mind. So
it did. So I'm like, man, Santiago, you have to stop sharing so much. like I have this buddy particularly, like he would always like give me advice on like everything I said. So, which I know it comes from a good place, but I think some people do that for one reason or another. And I just kept telling myself, why do I keep telling him what's going on? Why can't I just say, everything's good? How about you? Why do you have to?
I think just learn to balance it a little bit, right? Like, because you never know. Like sometimes, I'm guilty of it too. I used to also overshare information and just, put everything out there. But you never know what the other side is also dealing with. Right. Because someone can be, I don't know, working a 9 to 5 in an office, and then, we tell them, we went to the beach all day. It could be like, how is this, for example, Santiago guy goes to the beach all day, and I'm just here stuck in a 9 to 5 in an office. I wish I could be at the, so it's kind of maybe out of respect, I would say, or
good point.
Out of respect and out of maybe because there's no need to do it. I mean, that's why I try to remind myself, right?
Wow.
A little bit, yeah. I was actually posting something about it. I think it had to do with privacy, some things I want to keep private, and some of it was oversharing information.
Right.
Because you could be oversharing information to the wrong, people, then they take it, use it against you. So one of those things, right? So with information, some things we want to keep more private, but it depends a lot on the relationship you have with that person, right? You're talking to. So
no, and it's totally.
Obviously, if it's a sibling, if it's a close friend, that's different, right?
Right. Or if you're doing a podcast, I do want you to overshare everything.
Exactly, right? Yeah, spill the tea, everything.
Yeah. Make sure this is in silence, okay? Because I usually keep it in silent, but since I was connecting with you to meet up, I removed it. But anyways, so yeah, oversharing. That's one thing I'm working on. Because sometimes people could plant seeds of like fear that will paralyze you, and there goes that dream. Like you were like, oh, I want to be a musician, I want to be an actor, I want to be a news anchor, or whatever, and they'll be like, no, it sucks, or and then done. Which, if that's the case for anybody, you have to be like, thank you, and like still follow that desire, inner desire or calling, despite what other people say. I think. Right?
Absolutely. I think it comes down to the relationship we have with ourselves. That's I love talking about this because I had to learn it. The past year after I broke up with my ex-fiance, it really made me sit down with myself, reconnect to myself, because I neglected myself, right? Sometimes, and this is something that a lot of people do. When they get into a relationship, they forget about themselves, right? All of a sudden, like, there's not you, it's you're catering for the other person, and you're doing everything to please. Here we go with pleasing again, right? The other person, but we forget about ourselves. And this is not good, because it's the relationship we have with ourselves is the most important one, because we have ourselves like all day, every day, 24 hours, right? From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed. It's always us and our thoughts and our ideas, and so this is the source. We have to always, with everything, just turn in, but do the work.
That's so true, especially with relationships. Because I was talking to someone the other day, and we weren't on the same page about certain things, and I kept like asking myself, like, how much am I willing to stand from this person and to not be myself just to be with this person, and eventually, because life has its own way of sometimes flowing in the direction in which it needs to flow, those differences in values and interests in life, I think, took us in different directions. But I did find myself in a situation in which I was like, do I just keep up with this? And I think a lot of people tend to just put up with it. They're like, oh, because they look a certain way, or because they have so much money in the bank, then I will
shrink yourself,
shrink myself, or
shrink
just
yourself to continue, but that's
please this person, or
person.
it was interesting, and and with relationships, I think sometimes we'll get to that point, but about people fear, and I think it's a natural fear in a way, a little bit of an instinct to be alone, right? But sometimes people end up in the wrong relationship just to not be alone, and they'll stay in that relationship
because it's a fear. When you act out of fear, the result will never be good. It's not. You're never going to be yourself fully and wholeheartedly. It doesn't work because it goes in contrast, right? You have to be authentic. You have to be you. You have to understand you, and then you could show up at your best for others too. So
I agree. And I love how you said that, when you act out of fear. That reminded me of my friend Jim Carrey. Jim, if you're watching this, I like to give him credit for the ideas.
Everyone's watching.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone's watching. Yeah.
I don't want to say something that somebody else might watch and listen like, he didn't come up with that. Somebody else said that.
Yes.
And also, Jim could be watching and listening. Maybe. So he said something that, like, in life you act either, I'm paraphrasing, but out of fear or love. Or is it love? Yeah, love. Those two. Both of those. I think he said it at some...
Fear of faith.
Fear of faith? Was it fear of faith? At that commencement ceremony?
Because I've heard that.
Fear of faith.
Fear of faith. Because they cannot coexist.
Right.
Fear and faith cannot. So you have to choose which one you go with. Right.
Exactly. So I love how you said that, because, if you act out of fear, you said it. things won't really go
if you let fear move you,
right.
and that's what you, then you're always going to find yourself dependent, right, on other people, on situations, on the outcome, right? Always going to sit there and be like, oh, okay, only if this is going to go well, I'm gonna feel a certain way, right? That's what happens when you act out of fear. So
wow,
I want to stay away from that.
Wow.
Change the change, the switch in the mind, right?
Yeah, back to the mind.
Yeah.
It's all here. Okay. I think I saw something that you posted, and it reminded me of something that I saw one time. I don't do it all the time, especially when I'm not at home. But it's something like, every time you see a mirror, don't leave the mirror without high-fiving yourself.
Ooh,
so I'm not going to do it here, because then I'll leave all the mirrors dirty.
I love that.
But yeah, what do you think?
This is, I mean, I'm a big believer in mirror talk. And by the way, I think Logan Paul, actually, he has a method of doing it. He says affirmations to the mirror, especially before a fight or something like that. He'll actually start talking to himself in the mirror, like affirmations, right? Positive things, positive talk.
Right.
So I heard that he's doing that, and I'm a big believer in it as well.
Right.
You know, you look in the mirror, it's your reflection there. You look into your own eyes. That's a powerful moment. That's a powerful situation. That's super, super good to do. Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning that, because I'm a firm believer in affirmations as well.
Logan Paul, if you're watching.
Logan, yeah, I was going to say. Logan, sorry. Yeah,
maybe he's watching.
For sure he's watching. He's right next to Jim. They're probably sitting down together. But yeah, I heard about, and I also practice the affirmations, but not in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just more powerful.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense.
Especially if you start your day that way.
Wow.
You know?
Primer. Just like...
Because it's a lot, you know, you heard the quote that goes, we can be our own biggest enemy.
Okay. Yeah.
So
for
that
sure.
again as well, if you don't talk, you have to watch how you talk to yourself. People forget to do that, right? The inner talk as well, the inner dialogue, right? How we talk about ourselves. That's why we need to start being kind to ourselves.
Wow,
and be our own biggest fans and cheerleaders, right?
Yes.
Because if you don't motivate yourself, you know that no one's going to give it to you. You can, because then we go and we seek validations, we seek approvals from others, right? How did I do? How was I? How do I look? Right. But so we need to give it to ourselves, and a great way to do it is start your morning, look at the mirror, right? Yeah. Start saying positive affirmations to yourself. It's so powerful.
Yeah, I agree.
It is.
The power of word, right? Like agreements, like spells.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people usually use the word against themselves.
Yes.
They're like, oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so slow.
Right.
I always do this. I always do that. And why not say the opposite? And people are like, I'm so smart. That sounds stupid.
Yeah.
But no, say that, right?
Yeah, I mean, but it's
so
true. And even if it's not true, even if that's not how you feel, like during that moment, fake it till you make it, right?
No,
I mean, and it works. It works.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so motivating. I love watching like YouTube shorts about it, or like TikToks as well. But and then you find like a video about like a powerful like motivation, just a quick little thing. And so I actually saw the other day someone, I forget who that was, but he was saying you have to fake it sometimes. Even if you're sick, you're coughing, say, I feel good. I'm so thankful for my health right now. I feel so healthy. I feel so good. You have to, because, you know, the thing about our minds, it's not selective, right? The subconscious, it's not selective. So it's not really, it's just, whatever it hears, it, you know, confirms. So there's no filters. Right. So if it hears you saying, I'm powerful, I can do it, I'm smart enough, it's going to translate it, you know, that way.
Of that, right?
Exactly. It's going to start looking for ways to make it happen.
Yeah, right. So I used to run a jet ski company in New York.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Anyway, so I was taking a couple of guys on a tour once, and it was just the three of us. We're going around Manhattan, the whole island. Wow. I was like, hey guys, how fast do you want to go? And one of them told me, oh, Santiago, no, let's go slow. Yeah. The slower you go, the more you see. And I was like, wow. I'm going to say that in a podcast in like 6 years. So here I am saying it. What do you think about that, of like going slow, smelling the flowers?
It's about, you know, enjoying the journey, not just the destination. right? Because we get to experience so much. Sometimes we focus too much, on the outcome, at the destination, that we forget to enjoy. We forget to look at the little moments that make that whole journey, right? Special. Because I think it talks a lot about satisfaction, because we think that only when we get what we want, we're going to be satisfied. We're going to be happy. Only when we have that. So it could be like a dream car, right? Maybe you want like a specific car. Someone wants that, or someone wants to buy the house of their dreams. Only when they have that,
right,
that's, when they're going to be truly happy. But it doesn't work like that. It doesn't, because then you get it, and then what? Because if your mood, if your happiness, everything is dependent on that, you get it, but then what? Then you start thinking on the next thing, and the next thing. So it's always like, it's never enough. There's always like more and more and more, but when is it enough, right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
So it's a state of mind, right?
Yeah, no, and enjoying the process, like you're saying. Because you're like, when I get a boat, then I'll be happy.
Exactly.
And then you get the boat, and then you're like, when I get a bigger boat.
Yeah, exactly, right? I got a plane. I want to get like a bigger plane now. So there's never, that's, the dopamine,
Right.
The dopamine wants more and more and more and more. So we have to control it and enjoy the process and the journey, because it's beautiful,
You're right.
Yeah.
I remember one time it was something like in New York that I was trying to accomplish, and I got it. And I kind of I felt great for a while, but then at one moment I felt like pretty empty. I was like, wow, because I guess it didn't feel as great as I thought it would.
Right.
And I was like, what? And I was like, wow, this is crazy that this could happen with like other things in the future, Yeah. So no, I think you're 100% right. You have to enjoy the journey. Every second of it. Go slow on the jet ski.
Go slow on the jet ski. Exactly.
Everybody's gonna go on that jet ski super slow. Santiago said we should go slow. Another thing we used to say, just for fun, it would be like, ride it like you stole it.
Ride it like you stole it.
For people who wanted to go fast. But yeah, and like it's something I've been practicing also to practice more mindfulness when I go from here usually to get food somewhere, usually on Lincoln Road. I try to walk slowly, and I try to focus on like my posture, like my breathing, like really see things, scan like everything. Observe, yeah. Yes, because I catch myself sometimes walking super fast for no reason, right? And I'm like, Santiago, you're up here, take it like here. Like, what's the rush?
Right.
And also like back to the way people perceive you. I saw it in something the other day, but it was like when people are in control, they're not rushing. They're taking their time, even talking.
Exactly. Confident people, it's confident people, right? I think it's confidence. You don't see a confident person in a rush, or stressing to get somewhere, or, when we look at confident people, they take their time. They walk slow. They walk like the king, walk like a lion, right? Lion, king of the jungle, right? Wow. You don't see them like stressing or rushing to get anywhere. No, they take their time. So
wow,
same.
You're so right. I'm glad we're talking about this, because that's something I want to practice even when I'm talking. And I just realized I've been talking super fast this whole time, so we have to start over again. So from now on, I'm gonna take my time,
take a deep breath,
and do a lot of pauses. But that's so true. Like, actually, I'm gonna try. And it's interesting, if anybody listening hasn't practiced this, try it. I was watching this guy in real estate, and he does this all the time. He literally takes like 2 seconds, almost all the time. And he mentioned how that, first of all, he says, I do it because it gives me time to think what I'm going to say, kind of like playing chess. And also, people pay more attention when you take those
the little pauses.
Right? Because otherwise it seems like I am now, maybe I should stop drinking coffee. That when you're rushing your words is because you have fear that people will stop listening to you. So you're like insecure.
Could be. I can see that.
So but what if you take
your time, think about what you're going to say. Exactly.
So this podcast was going to last an hour now.
because
it's gonna last 3 hours.
Yes.
In post-production, I'm gonna put it in slow-mo. I'm gonna pause it every sentence. It might look weird, but no, I mean, that's something that, you know, we're always growing, right? Adjusting. And that's one thing that clearly I forgot to do for most of this podcast, but I will try to do it for the rest. And just in life in
it's
general.
okay to slow down. You know, not everything. I mean, I think it's hard. Seriously, that's the one thing about living in Miami, right? Because it's a city where you have so many successful people and so many people trying to create and grow and their businesses, right? So sometimes a person can find themselves in a competition, right? Because, you know, they find themselves competing, right? Okay, I need to be like that person. That person moves a certain way. They act so fast. It's so quick. I need to start matching myself to that energy. But it doesn't work like that because everyone has their own timing. Everyone has a different process and a journey, their own journey, right? To experience and explore. So it's okay to slow down. It's okay. We can control things, right? It's just because you're going to, you know, speed your whole, like rush through your whole day. It's not going to change anything, you know? It's not going to make the outcome any better or, you know?
Right. In fact, even quite the opposite, right?
I think the other way around. If you if you slow down, if you start observe more, you know, you quiet your mind, maybe you start having new perspectives, right? Your mind starts to open up to new ideas and new, you know, you can meet people, right? If we slow down in the street, you can run into someone, start a conversation. You never know where that can, right? So it's little things like that. So, but it's only when we slow down. I think I heard a sentence that went like, magic is only available to those who knows how to look for it. Magic is available to those who know how to look for it. Yeah. So, yeah.
Keep saying wow. That's so true, you know, because one thing that I've been trying to work on as well is to identify. Yeah. Because a lot of times I see things and opportunities, and I may not identify them as that, and I could miss them.
There you go. You know? If we rush, we miss the opportunities as well, right? Or if you're slow down, if you're more, you know, present in the moment, you're more aware of what's going on around you and who is around you, right? You can see you have a better perspective. Where if you're rushing, you're constantly running out of time. Out of breath, right? You're gonna miss all these things. So yeah, it's okay to slow down.
Now, what's one thing that you do or you've done in the past that helps you or helped you slow down or that helps you? What is it?
Meditations.
All right.
Yes.
Right on. Can you tell us a little bit about your ritual?
I love it. And I'm a person that it's hard for me to sit down. Today I'm better. I'm doing better, but I was always kind of restless in a way. I've always, you know, needed to do things, needed to, you know, be on the go, and I couldn't sit down. I would like lose my mind if I just sat down, and it was so hard for me. But, you know, so I started doing meditations, right? And it really, it's life-changing. To me, it's been life-changing. You know, it kind of relaxed like my whole system, everything. It opens up new perspectives, and the nice thing about it is that it doesn't have to be super long. You could just like listen to, you know, tunes, listen to a soundtrack, to music that relaxes you. You can either do it for like 10 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever time you have, but it's super powerful. It's good. It really, you know, it helps with slowing things down, of course.
I agree, and I can tell. You know, you can tell when people meditate. Like I can tell by
they have a different kind of
you're like calm, you know.
Calm, but it takes time, you know, and it's because, you know, whenever we try to start a new habit, it's not gonna happen like overnight. You have to really commit to it, right? Commit, but you never know. It's something that's, you know, can be so good for you. So like, don't be quick to give up on it. But
totally. Wow. No, meditation is super important. It's something I sometimes I have periods of my life where I'm a lot more consistent with it. Like breathing, you know, like breathing exercises.
Breathing technique. Yes.
I thought that was like a scam. I'm like, these guys they just want attention. And then one day I was I was meditating, but I like to like hold my breath just for fun, because
Ooh.
like when that's what I do for fun every day. Because like if I inhale and I hold it till my body goes like, hello, we need to breathe out.
No.
It's like, no, but I love it because it's at that moment. Everything else disappears. All my other worries, all of a sudden my physiology, my biological needs focus on one thing. They're like, hey, are we going to breathe in or what? You know,
That's
nothing
so
else. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we're going to breathe in. So I breathe in and then I hold it again till my body once again talks to my mind and is like, are we going to breathe out?
Right.
So I just love that. And one time I was doing that and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And all of a sudden, I won't expand but I get excited when I talk about this. I had an experience that I had never felt before. I think that some DMT or something spilled in my brain. My pineal gland did something, but it was like electric. It was like this sensation. Like the more I thought about it, it would go away. So I couldn't really think about it. And I was like, what is going on? And it lasted for quite a few minutes. And then after that, I was super relaxed for like weeks. And I was like, that's what they're talking about. Like Iceman, like all the guys were like, and from what I understand now, because I had to look into it, it's controlled hyperventilation. And they do exercises for that. But anyways, that's something that I do to like bring me down to the moment.
That.
Like
that's very interesting.
It's really cool. Try it.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Oh, it's super cool.
Way.
It's super cool. Just like, because it's like it immediately creates a connection between mind and body. It's like, hey, are we gonna breathe? It's like there's a question like.
And we forget to breathe, right? I feel like people forget to breathe, right? To take that few extra seconds. Just relax.
Right.
Just relax before you say anything. Before you're quick to react, right? It's okay to just like take a few extra seconds, breathe. It's gonna be beneficial.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. I'm gonna breathe while I read my notes here. Okay, this is a really interesting topic. Failure. I know failure for most people, including myself, until recently, I always saw it as a negative outcome and a negative thing in my life. But lately, I think I do see it as growth and even pain. Like when I'm suffering for whatever reason, a relationship, financial, whatever, I'm growing. It's hard to say, but that's when you grow.
Absolutely. So
what do you think about like the failure and stuff?
Yeah, we learn best from experience. You know, if we don't experience, we're not gonna learn about ourselves, about what we want in life, and failure is a part of it. It's a part of it. Facing rejection, right? Hearing the word no. It's a part of it, but look at it as something that's motivating, right? Take it, turn it into motivation. Okay, I just got to know. That's okay. I'm going to try better, going to try smarter, going to try stronger next time, and until I get that yes, right? So I think it's one of those things in life where you take a bad experience and you change the narrative, try to give it a different meaning,
Okay. I have to quote my other friend, but he already passed away, so he's probably sitting here with us. You might have heard him before, because what you said right now reminded me of it. Wayne Dyer, have you heard of him?
Absolutely.
He said, I don't know if he got this from somewhere else, he probably did, of course, but anyways, I got it from him. The moment you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Yes.
So what you said, just kind of like, and like, that's so true, especially with like relationships. I think sometimes, me personally, and maybe other people, when you end a relationship, you end up with some resentment towards that person. I started to see them as teachers. I'm like, I learned this and this and this from this person, and it's crazy, but the resentment immediately gone. Now I'm like grateful for this person, and it's like I feel lighter. It's crazy.
You made your closure with them.
I guess it's what it is, but it's crazy. So I'm like, now everybody's a teacher. So relationships, and I guess even people in general, friends.
In general, absolutely. So I believe that everyone that we meet comes to teach us something, comes to give us a little message, because sometimes you meet someone and they stay for only a short amount of time. Right. And then you start thinking, okay, what was that about, right? What did they come to tell me, right? Because I don't believe in coincidence, right? So there's a reason why we meet, certain people at a certain time. So, but that's about being an observer, right? Observer, a listener, you know, try to understand why they're there, why did they enter your life, right? And even if it's a bad experience, again, right, you were meant to go through this experience so that you can learn better about yourself, so you can change a few things about yourself, because at the end of the day, it all comes down, you know, to ourselves, like to our inner world. And but look at the person that you're talking to as a mirror, right? They come to show you something that you're not aware of.
Whoa.
Right?
Yeah. That's so interesting. Yeah, especially when people like upset you. I was talking to a friend the other day, and he was telling me that he was talking to somebody else, and he was telling him how something about that somebody else did made him upset, and then that other person was like laughing, and he was like, "Why are you laughing?" He's like, "Because it makes you upset. The fact that makes you angry." And he was like, "Damn, that's true." Which I'm sure you've read the book. I have a feeling you have. The Four Agreements.
Of course. Okay. Yes.
All right. Yes. Amazing.
I love that.
I want to say hi to what's his name? Don Miguel.
Don Miguel.
Ruiz.
Yes.
Hey, Don Miguel.
Don Miguel. It's
one
a
thing.
classic.
Totally. And one thing that I took away from that, which I try to remember, is the whole about taking things personally. And he talks. I forget exactly how he mentions it, but it's like if somebody out in the streets started calling you a washer machine or a blender, you wouldn't. You would think they're crazy, right? But then if they call you stupid, then you get offended, and if you do, it's probably because maybe deep inside you do think you're stupid. As opposed to like, you know, if they call you like a lamp, I'm like, I know I'm not a lamp, so you're crazy. But you call me stupid, now I'm like, how dare you? You know,
it triggers something.
Personally.
Yes.
So
that's so tough to do, because you know, of course, it's so easy to start taking things personally. You know, it's if you went and got coffee and the bartender or the barista was rude to you, then you're like, what did I do? Right? We immediately start looking like, you know, for what did I do wrong? What did I say anything? But no, we have to make that separation. That like the way whatever people do, it's their, you know, it's whatever they project their everything, their mistakes on you. But you have to make that separation and say, this doesn't belong to me, right? The way that the person reacted right now doesn't have to do with how I'm feeling or seeing myself, you know.
Totally, so it's what's inside of them at the moment, right?
Yeah, it's people like to project their own problems, right? On you. So it's you have to, you know, make that separation where it doesn't belong to me. This doesn't belong to me. I heard actually a really cool technique that kind of helps with that. It's if there's a situation that, you know, happens, or for example somebody's yelling at you, right? If you don't want to, like, of course, you know, it really depends, but if we want to kind of control our reaction, is start labeling or start naming that situation and the person, start describing it. So for example, like very quick in your mind, start saying a person who's angry, give it a name. Think of it as a scene from a movie, and that scene is that person X, person Y is angry right now. So that's going to really help you to make that separation and understand this doesn't belong to me. It's whatever they're dealing with, whatever, you know, is going through their life right now, doesn't belong to me. So that's a cool little trick, right? You know?
Yeah, that's amazing. Really, I'm doing it right now with something that somebody did the other day. That person is crazy.
Because it really helps you know, kind of take that
let go of that.
Exactly, let go of it.
Wow, that's fascinating. Gosh, this is
it helps
amazing.
Organize some things in the mind, right?
Right, like compartmentalize.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow, that's so awesome. Let's see. Oh, okay. What do you think about like the whole thing with dreams and following dreams? Some people say, don't follow your dreams, do something, it's good for society. Other people say, yeah, follow your dreams, right? They're follow your dreams. Like back to my friend Jim Carrey, he says, try to do what you love, because something like this, because you could fail at what you don't love.
Yes, right.
So pursue what you do love.
Right.
So anyway, what are your thoughts on that whole, you know, following your dreams and
absolutely.
and
so
dreams and stuff?
there's a reason, right? You and I, we have different dreams, right? You have your own dreams, your own goals. I have my own dreams. And there's a reason why your dreams come to visit you, right? It's because somewhere you are meant to get that. You're meant to get there. You're meant to get it, right? There's a version of you that is already like experiencing it and doing it and having that, you know? Whatever you desire, there's a reason why you desire it. So our job is to align with that, to bring that reality, to create it, right? Now, how we're gonna do it? We have to do the work, right? You have to want it. You have to keep visualizing it, but you have to also put the work, right? Start researching how to make it happen. What do I do, right? Think about that first step and go for it. Yeah. Dreams are important, you know. That's like it's like you're looking at a map, right? That's where we're headed. That's, you know. So hold that dream, because, you know, if you're gonna give up on that, then what, right? It's
right.
gonna be boring. There's no meaning, right? That's what keeps us going, right? Like chasing that dream, trying to make it happen, trying to achieve it. That's, you know, gives us purpose. Yeah.
I agree, especially because a lot of times, including myself, society and maybe your parents want you to do other things that you don't want to do. So then when you do give yourself like the freedom or the permission to like do that second is like, so you feel so much, you're like, oh my gosh, because truth is, I mean, back to that person who may be having that 9 to 5 that they don't like, maybe you want to, you know, be a juggler at a circus, but you haven't tried that, right? I think the second you take a step in that direction, like you were saying, it can be great, because also that you may not even love it that much. Maybe you love the idea of it, right? But then once you do follow it, you go through with it. I think you pursue it. Yeah. You can live at peace with yourself, knowing that you achieved followed that, you followed through with that desire that you had, and then maybe if it changes, it changes.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're living someone else's dream, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you don't work for your dream, you're gonna work for somebody else's.
Exactly.
Right. Which I think it's okay. Sometimes you know we need jobs, transitional jobs. You have kids, but even so, like, you know, that's what I suggest. Save enough money to give yourself the chance. To do it, or start doing it while you have that job. You know, start doing it on the weekends or at night when you get home.
Right. It's if there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's, I think, again, being aware. If you want it bad enough, life is going to give you the opportunity to make it happen.
Right.
It's just, are you ready to accept it? Are you ready to go for it? You know, you have to be ready. Yeah.
Yeah. Be ready. Listen to her. Okay, this is a question that I think it's interesting. I think it's a new question that I don't think a lot of people have asked it before, at least not in the last 10 years. What's your relationship like, and what do you think about ChatGPT?
Ooh, I love ChatGPT. We're like best friends now. We're best friends.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I treat it really nice. I put hearts every time I talk to it. I'm like, hey, Chat, I missed you.
I'm always yelling at mine.
You're yelling at
I am. I get the pop-up that says these words are against our guidelines, and I'm like, okay. Interesting.
I compliment it all the time. Like you're
oh my gosh, I feel horrible now. I'll apologize when we're done with this. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He keeps calling me Alex.
Oh.
I was like, what do you call me, Alex? Wow, but yeah, it's interesting, right? It's quite a tool.
It is. It's definitely changed a lot of things.
Yeah,
right?
I was watching a video of this young kid the other day. I don't know, 15 or something.
Yeah.
And he was saying how when he feels depressed or down or whatever, he'll talk to ChatGPT, which I do as well. But it's so interesting that someone that young can already have an identity that will listen and provide, in the most part, valuable, positive feedback, right? Because I remember when I first realized that ChatGPT was being nice to me. I don't know what I asked. I said something like, "How do I get ripped?" or something. You know, how do I lose weight? ChatGPT was like, it started off like very gentle, like, losing weight is great. But then remember that accepting yourself is very important, no matter what you look like. I was like, okay. And then here's the 10 tips. But I was like, why is it being so gentle? And then I started talking to it. Why are you being so nice? And it started talking about that.
Having fun with that.
Yeah, no, I was like, why? What do you want from me? I don't know. It's pretty fascinating. Did you watch the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix?
Oh yes, I did. Yeah, very.
That's crazy.
Similar, right?
Yeah, because that's like old. That's like 10 years old.
Exactly. So they were kind of able to, right?
They
predict
knew. That's
where
crazy.
we're gonna get. Yeah, it's crazy. It also could be a little lonely, right? Because you hear about all crazy things. You know, people talk to it all day, and instead of going and making like real connections.
Interesting.
And so
Wow.
it's definitely.
Yeah, like balance, I guess. We have
You
to
gotta
find a way
balance. Yeah.
between-
Same as social media, right?
Right.
It's just it's all about balance, right? You just treat it for what it is, right? It's like, don't forget that it's a computer you're talking to, so you know.
How do you keep yourself from not scrolling too much? Like how do you limit your intake?
That's tough. I think that if you're in a certain mood, right? If I feel like bad, if I'm not having like the best day or whatever, of course it's easy to just like sit there and just scroll away, right? But I think that's where discipline comes in. It's okay to give yourself like maybe 20 minutes I don't know, in the morning, right? Scroll a little bit, but then you have to remember what else you have going on for
remember
yourself.
To go eat something,
right? So I think discipline is a big part, right? If we are not disciplined, if you so for example, if you decided that at 9 a.m. tomorrow you're gonna go work out, or at 10 a.m. you have a specific meeting or something you have to prep for, learn to just control your time, because you have to respect your time, right? If you want people to respect your time, respect your so don't be sitting there and like scrolling for like an hour, because what's that gonna do, right?
At one point
it's not gonna improve your day. That's for sure, right?
Yeah, that's true. Like, don't be like me that sometimes I scroll till my phone runs out of battery.
Ooh.
It has happened. I'm like, oh my gosh, and then it dies, and I'm like,
1%.
Okay. No, and then it dies. I'm like, oh, good. I'm glad it did.
Okay,
I'm like,
okay.
Let's go read a book.
Like, someone was talking to me, told me to stop.
It's like 4 a.m. I'm like, okay, now I'll go to sleep. Awesome. Yeah, no, that's very interesting. Okay, so we kind of touched on this, but let's talk a little bit more about, a lot of people, including myself, but sometimes it's challenging to be alone, even let's say even maybe single, if you're not in a relationship. But I think it can also be important for you to get to like know yourself, to grow, right?
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on that? And like, what would you tell to someone who may be struggling, feeling alone, maybe after a breakup, or just not having a lot of friends or something?
It's okay to be in your feelings. It's a part of life. It's a part of the process, especially after a breakup or after a transition, right? Let's say you just moved to a new place and you're trying to meet people. Don't be too hard on yourself.
We kind of talked about this, like following your dreams, and the whole people pleasing thing can sometimes keep you from doing that, right? Especially family members, which I think they want the best for us, but sometimes it's like, I heard an expression the other day, it was crazy, or something like, can someone you don't like give you something good, and like a glass of some good drink, and you're like, true, and can someone you do like give you poison? And I was like, well, I guess.
Yes.
Too, right? It's like, wow.
Yes.
Sometimes people will tell you things. So despite all of that, like, what are your thoughts on like the importance of living and building like the life that you want to live, and what would you tell to someone who may feel like they're not, that maybe, which is okay, but they're living a life that is not true to their own desires and dreams and stuff?
It's about being authentic with yourself. So authenticity is the highest frequency, right? That's what attracts everything when we are doing what we love, for example, right? then it doesn't feel like work, right? You see people, like, I always like to ask, do you like what you do? If the answer is yes, you know, a lot of time you hear that their reply is, yeah, that's why it never feels like work to me, because I get to do what I like. So that's why it's so important. Yeah, you want to, at the end of the day, it's your life, right? So even if it's a parent, like, yes, they may have a good interest, right? They want you to succeed. They want you to, you know, be at your best. No, be at your best. But they want you to be successful in everything, right? But they don't know. You know, it's your body, it's your life. No one knows what you're really dealing with, how you're feeling. That's why it's important to follow your own path and really reach your ideal self. You know, which is hard to do, right? You have to experience a lot, but that's where you can get to truly do what you love. And
yeah, because it's a process. It's not.
It is. It's not easy, right?
Exactly.
You can't just wake up one day and say, "Oh, today I'm gonna just get this and get this goal." It's you. There's a process. There's steps, right, to everything. So.
Yeah, totally, and it takes. It's like there's like the phases, right?
Yeah.
So there's that phase of at first you're like super excited, but then you might run into some obstacles, and then it's not as exciting.
That's when people give
and
up,
that's when
right?
People mostly give up.
Yeah,
right.
It's like that famous picture, right, of like a person going up the steps, or they're looking at the staircase, and like they're right in the middle. And if they only knew it, if they only lifted their head up a little bit, they knew that they have this much to pass, and then they're gonna get what they wanted, you know. Yeah. So yeah, it's about like not giving up too, right? Like holding that desire, because you have it for a reason, right? So don't give up on that. Yeah. Try it, because you know it's because then, like, the worst case, you're gonna get what you want, right? So, but right, but if you don't try, then you don't know. You're never gonna know. And the worst is to live with regret, right? To get to a certain time in life where you're looking back and you're like, oh, I wish I've done that. Right. I wish I tried that. I wish I dared, right? Dare is a big word. You have to dare. Yeah. Yeah.
Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. Right.
Yes.
Wow. So. And daring. Yeah. You know, like taking action despite fear. I saw this thing the other day, which I loved. So social media. Thank you. I think it was TikTok. Yeah. Hey to everyone on TikTok. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if you've heard it before. It was the story about the scarecrow. Did you hear it? Okay. About like where do the farmers usually place the scarecrow?
In the middle of the...
Right, but where you keep the best fruit.
Oh, right? Okay. Yes.
But imagine if only the crow knew that the best fruit is right under the scarecrow. Yeah. So I was like, wow, how many times have fear been keeping me from getting that best fruit?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So me personally, that's another thing I've been working on, which is, of course, I fear tigers, lions, tigers, and bears, and sharks. And I think that's a healthy fear. But there's other fears that are really just in your head and will keep us from keep us from moving forward. Right. It's like in a movie, right? Like the hero always have to go through a certain thing, and then there's the climax, right? And then they get to, they finally get to where they needed to, right? They got what they wanted, or it happened to them, right? But that's what keeps the movie interesting, right? Because if it was just going like a certain way, like a certain, right? There wasn't fear. They didn't need to cope with anything, deal with anything. Then the movie was boring, right? No one would be watching, right? So there has to be something. There has to be to keep it, a little action, right? But that's we have to, deal with the fear. Yeah, don't let it hold you back. Right. Yeah, because it's about stepping out of the comfort zone, right? If you just sit at the same spot and you stay, then nothing's going to you can't get into living your best reality or ideal self by not taking that action, not daring, right? Totally. It's like, instead of, I mean, in my case, in my experience, like as soon as I experience or feel fear, don't run away. Like it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Believe it or not. Yeah. Like stay. There's something here that you can learn. Or
don't get intimidated, right? Because learn to turn it into faith. Let faith move you and not fear, right? Don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's a quick switch to do. Once you realize, once you say to yourself, I'm not gonna be moved by fear, right? Say it out loud. Then you'll start heading in that way. You start heading that direction, right? Away from fear, because you're literally like telling to yourself, I'm not falling for that, right?
Wow,
like
right,
I'm not.
Exactly.
I acknowledge it. It exists, but I'm not gonna be moving from it or by it. So,
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And okay, I think just a few more things. Okay, these are easy questions. What's your favorite type of food? What do you like to eat? It could be either a specific dish or whatever. What's something that you like in general? You know, it could be more than one answer. You know?
Right. I like pasta. I think it's easy. Actually, I love meat.
Meat?
I love steak. Steak is the easiest because it's healthy. It's good. It works for me, right? So yeah, that's my favorite food.
What about fish, seafood?
I love fish. Yeah. Well,
Nice.
we'll say white fish, right? Yeah.
Interesting. Wow, it's
What
safe.
about
Good
you?
to know.
What do you like?
I mean, I love seafood. I love everything, of course.
Yeah.
But I love seafood. What's something? Oh, I love salmon.
Yeah,
Salmon's one of my favorite fish.
same. Of course.
Ceviche,
Do you like? Are you like a big foodie
lobster.
or something like that? Do you like to kind of experiment?
Yeah, but I wouldn't.
Yes, no.
I think I'm more into like exploring like the meaning of life, the mind, and outer space than like restaurants.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
course.
but I mean, I just love to cook and stuff like that. But you know, the foodie thing, it's there. Like, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I'd love to, you know, take maybe 1 year in the future and go to all the Michelin restaurants around the world.
Nice.
Like, you know, that'd be nice research.
Absolutely, yeah.
So no, I love food. Yeah. What about cooking? Do you like to cook? Anything?
Yeah, I love cooking.
What do you like to cook
I
the
love
most?
cooking. Ceviche.
Oh,
I mean, it's not really
wow,
cooking.
cool.
Ceviche, meatballs. I love making meatballs.
Really? Wow.
I do. Actually, I love it. It's
What?
fun. It's
That's so cool.
I
I haven't had enough meatballs in my life, so maybe one day.
I make them a little differently, right? They're not those like huge like meatballs that you see at Italian restaurants, right? I make mine like smaller, right? So then it's perfect. I like it. It's healthy. It's good. Yeah. So
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay. What about? We mentioned a few books, but are there any 1, 2, or 3 books that you know definitely like? Not change the direction of your life or your perspective, but you know that are meaningful to you. And any 1 or 2 or 3 books?
Absolutely. So definitely the 4 agreements. You know, I think it's something that anyone can take and apply it right away.
Right.
Super. That's a classic, right? So,
Yeah, and it's short. It's easy.
And it's a short book. Exactly. So if you're like me, I'm not a reader. Like for me, it's hard to sit and hold a book and actually read. I had to force myself to do it.
Oh, me too. Always.
I still do. But that's the nice thing about the 4 agreements. It's such an easy read, right? So
it's like one word.
Can't say no to that. You gotta at least try, right? But right now I'm reading The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. It's by Joseph Murphy.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Yeah, and it's life-changing as well because it talks a lot about the mindset. It talks about subconscious, ways to plant certain thoughts, plant seeds inside your mind, right? So I love that. Yeah.
Wow.
Love that one right now.
Thank you. Any other one?
No. Like I said, I can't really. I wish I could be one of those like people that can read like I don't know 3 books at the same time,
right?
and
Me too.
because there are some.
Yeah.
There are. I can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
I know.
at some point in the future,
Right?
who knows?
Yeah, totally. Like lately, I've started to see reading because when I was younger, reading was always like, I have to read school rules.
Yes.
Forget it. I'm a rock star. But lately, I've been thinking and seeing books and words as like code, like coding, like specifically like programming, like literally like like updating your iOS or updating a software. Literally, like each book is like a bunch of code. So I don't know. That for me kind of gave it a different way to look at it.
There you
And
go.
so
That's
now
what you gotta do, right? Change it. Look at it. Take something that you don't like doing. Take it. Ask yourself, okay, what does it remind me of that I actually like doing, right?
Right.
Make that look at it as a game, right? Change it. have fun with it, right? If you don't like reading, I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe
audiobooks.
try to reward yourself. Try to,
Oh,
tell yourself
totally.
like, okay, I'm reading 10 pages today. After that, I'm gonna go and get myself, treat myself to a cheat meal. I don't know, something like that.
Totally. I'm reading 10 words. Start small.
Yes, start with 10 words. No.
One thing that I do, I do this as much as I can, is that I'll circle. Like I have to be an active reader because otherwise I'm like, I get bored. So like one thing I usually do is like I circle all the numbers in whatever page I'm reading. So I circle those or things that I like, I underline. Like I have to
love
like,
that.
it really.
Keep yourself engaged.
Exactly, and then it's easier for me to like go back to it and be like, oh, what are my favorite parts, and I immediately find them. So that's kind of cool.
I love that.
All right, we're almost done. 2 more questions.
Ooh.
What about movies? What kind of movies do you like? Are there
Wow.
any movies that you love?
That's a good question. So I love movies. I'm a big fan of movies because it's fun. Okay, my favorite one is Ghost. It's from the 90s.
Of course. Oh.
Yes, exactly.
Patrick
right?
Swayze.
Yes, he was so
Patrick,
good.
I know he's up there.
He's in heaven.
Yeah.
Maybe he's listening to us
Yeah,
right
for
now.
sure, right there. Yeah, wow, beautiful movie. Demi
That's
Moore.
a classic. Demi Moore, exactly. I like Eyes Wide Shut, Tom Cruise.
Oh my gosh,
It's
yes.
a little bit more.
Yes.
The cinematography in it is great.
Wow.
And the music and everything about it.
I was talking about that movie the other day. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, because that was a remake of another one.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Am I thinking of the right movie? Eyes Wide Shut. Wait,
Eyes
who
Wide
else is
Shut.
in that movie?
Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman.
Oh, you know what?
This is Stanley
That's not
Kubrick.
the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
'cause I
Watch
think I
it. It's
saw
from
it.
the 90s as well.
Is that the one that they go to some sort of cult?
Yes, sort of. He's
wear
exploring
masks?
like the whole movie. Yeah, with the masks. It
Okay,
takes
so I
place
saw
in
it a
New
long time
York
ago. Okay.
during Christmas, so it's like so beautiful and everything.
Really?
It's, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah,
I
I
love
have to
Tom
watch
Cruise.
it. Yeah,
Hey
yeah.
Tom.
Tom.
Hey Nicole.
Yeah.
I worked with Nicole in the Undoing. I don't know if you heard of
no
that.
way.
Yeah, I was the stand-in for Edgar Ramirez. He
no
was
way,
the
yes.
detective.
Wow.
So, and I was also his photo double.
She's a great actress. Like she
Yeah.
never stops. I feel like because she's just
I know, right?
been in like a few recent movies, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And she's always so good. I like that she changes like her character, like
Right,
like she
different
has
roles.
different roles, and
Yeah.
I think I like that. That's
Oh,
when you see
she's-
like a real character, like actor, right?
Right. Yeah, no, she's amazing. And she's
Yeah.
tall. I didn't really get to talk to her, but like
Yeah.
I would see her, and she's pretty tall. Hey, Nicole. Interesting. Any other ones? Any other movies that you would like to?
Sure. I love The Escape from Alcatraz. Of course, it's
classic.
a classic. I love
Yeah.
classic movies. That's the one thing I
Really
realized about
interesting.
myself. I like action. I like thrillers. What's another good one? The Godfather, obviously.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't say no to that. What else? Basic Instinct. I like Basic Instinct because again, it's like a thriller,
Interesting.
right?
Yeah.
I love
Is that
those
Michael
kind of
Douglas?
movies. Michael Douglas, yeah.
Michael Douglas.
Yeah,
Hey, Michael.
yeah.
Basic. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I love movies myself as
Yeah.
well. Like that's why I love. Which is I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, I love this podcast idea because it's like storytelling without all the special effects, and there's
Right.
like less variables,
Definitely.
but you're still
There's not a script.
exactly. There's no
Yeah.
script.
It's more
There's
like
the
an
voice.
open
So I'm like,
conversation.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow. I think
Yeah.
podcast is my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to create other projects as well, but it's like here, you don't really need that much of a crew. You know what I mean? Like you need your guest and
Yeah.
but
Just you, the camera,
right.
and millions of people, right?
Right, but with like all my friends, Jim Carrey,
Virtual
everybody
people.
watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love movies as well. Like
Yeah.
almost every time I'm having dinner or something, I usually, if I'm not with anybody,
Yeah.
I play a movie. If I'm
love
with somebody, well, maybe I'll talk to them.
Yeah.
But, sorry, I have to watch this movie. But yeah, no, I love movies as well. It's so interesting, and also like older movies because I'm like, wow, how did they,
Yeah.
like they made them differently back then, right?
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I'm like-
I agree.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
agree.
so cool.
Yes,
I love
yes.
movies.
There's like a special charm, in like
Yeah.
all movies.
Right.
They have like a charm.
Yeah, especially like
it's fun. Yeah.
yeah. I'm like,
I
or
feel like
movies
you're going back in time.
exactly movies that I saw a long time ago. Like for instance, the other day I watched Dennis the Menace. Dennis the Menace.
Yes, of
I used to see that
course.
when I was like 4,
I love
right?
that.
So the other day I saw the whole thing and I realized, oh, the homeless guy or the crazy guy is also the guy from Back to the Future. I don't know his name.
Ooh, okay.
That's his name.
Ooh,
And then
wow.
the grandpa, I saw him in some interview the other day with Johnny Carson or something, and apparently he was a comedian, which makes sense because that's a funny movie. Anyway, so it was kind of cool to watch it again.
Nice.
All right, and last question.
Oh, what'd you get?
So let's talk about music.
Yeah,
What kind of music do you like?
Oh, wow.
Any favorite artist or song? that you
Oof,
like?
at the moment, it's just a mix. I like different genres. It really depends. If I'm working out, I actually
Sure.
like listening to reggaeton.
Okay,
I
okay.
like-
Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Bad Bunny.
Hey, Bad Bunny. I like classic. I like Robbie Williams. He's British,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of it's not a lot of like my American friends, like they're here. They don't really know about him, so I always like have to like explain a little bit,
yeah,
right?
he's awesome.
But he's amazing. I love all his music.
And the video with the body
Phil-
parts. I
Phil
don't
or-
wanna rock.
Oh
DJ.
yeah,
Is
yeah,
there second-
yeah.
that was
that's what
crazy
we-
back then.
Yeah, and like he has the song "Feel," right? Like I just wanna feel.
Oh, I think I've heard
I
it before.
love that one. I
I
love
know that one, or like, did he do King of the Bongo? No. Did he do a remake of that one? Mama was king
Yes.
of the Mama, Papa was right.
I don't know that one.
Or am I
I
going
thought about
crazy?
something else.
Maybe we are.
But he is so talented.
No, he's
Who
great.
else? I'll just listen to whatever. It really depends,
Really?
you know. Yeah,
What
yeah,
about,
it really depends.
What about dancing? Do you dance?
Yes, I
what do you
love
like to dance?
dancing. Freestyle, whatever, whatever I feel like.
Break dancing?
I want to learn bachata though. I want to learn
it's so
that.
beautiful. Like I know
wanna
the
learn
basics,
that.
but I find it such a
Yes.
beautiful dance, and the
Yeah.
lyrics are also very beautiful. It's like
Yeah.
romantic, and it seems so
Passionate.
challenging too.
Challenging,
Oh
yeah.
my
It's
gosh, like
actually
you see the
very
things
hard.
people do, they're like,
Yes, it's hard. Yeah.
but it makes sense somehow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love music as well.
Yeah,
Like everything
it's-
about it, singing,
Of
playing the
course,
guitar,
Yeah.
dancing. Even if I dance a
Wow.
little bit, breaking the rules. Like the other day, I was
Wow.
dancing with my mom, like salsa, and
Nice.
she's like, "That's not how you dance," and I just keep like breaking the rules.
Oh,
She's like, and I'm like,
wow,
"That's not how you
wow.
do it." Hey, mom.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I think back to the whole like humanity and space. Like dancing is such a celebration of like
It
the
is.
human anatomy and connected to like sound.
Yeah,
I think it's
absolutely.
beautiful, right?
And it increases the vibration.
Oh, huge.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's movement. Anything with movement,
Totally.
it's,
Yeah, no, I
helps.
love it.
So if you're in a bad mood, right? Actually, like moving your body,
Oh,
like
big time.
dancing, anything, even taking a walk, right? That's instantly
Oh,
creates that, like changes
Totally.
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Like some days, I remember having like a hard, tough day, and I like step outside, and the moment I step outside, I see a bird, a leaf, a guy,
Yeah.
a guy living in the streets, and I'm like, well, at least So now I'm grateful. So yeah, I forget the expression, but it's like move a muscle, change a thought, or something. So or the thought follows, or something.
Yeah.
But anyways, this has been amazing. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
being
much
here.
for having me.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
Are there any like last thoughts that you'd like to share with all Jim Carrey and all these celebrities watching us? I'm kidding. Or like the world or anybody about anything?
I'll just say follow your path. I mean, don't be afraid to follow your path. Yeah, because that's the only way you're gonna, find out about yourself truly. Not what everyone tells you, not how everyone thinks or tells you to act or be. Yeah, follow your path and connect with yourself, because that's how, you're gonna live your life in the most authentic way. So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good pleasure. Bye. Awesome.
Ooh,
Wow.
that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Yeah.
I love it.